Good day, everyone. We are the Group 6 and we would like to present to you the lipids classification. Introduction. Lipids are one of the major macromolecules present in our body, and others include nucleic acids, carbohydrates, and proteins. But unlike the other macromolecules, lipids are not polymers. They are composed of monomers. Kana ang word. So, ang polymer is in any of a class of natural or synthetic substances composed of very large molecules called macromolecules, just like sa giingon kanina, that are multiples of simpler chemical units called monomers. Pero ang lipids are polymers since they lack of monomer unit. They are hydrophobic in nature because of the predominance of hydrocarbon chains in their structures. Ang lipids are hydrophobic or insoluble in water. Lipids have diverse roles in many key biological functions, such as acting as structural components of cell membranes, serving as energy storage sources, and participating in signaling pathways. Ang lipids can be classified in ways depending on chemical composition, fatty acids, and requirements of the human body. So based on the chemical composition, ang lipids kay kanang divided into three categories: the simple lipids, compound lipids, and derived lipids. So the first one kay ang simple lipids, which consists of long-chain fatty acids which may be either free or combined with an alcohol by an ester linkage. It includes esters of fatty acids and glycerol that are also termed neutral fats or triglycerides. They make up 98 to 99% of food and body fats and oils. So, ang fatty acids. Ang fatty acids kay ang simplest form of lipids. They are the building blocks of the fat in our bodies and in the food we eat. So, kanang during digestion, the body breaks down fats into fatty acids, diba? Which can then be absorbed into the blood. So, fatty acids molecules are usually joined together in groups of three, forming a molecule called a triglyceride. Kanang they are long chain of hydrocarbons, which is 4 to 36 carbons long with one carboxyl group. These molecules serve as constituents in a large number of complex lipids. In biological systems, fatty acids contains an even number of carbon atoms. Among all fatty acids, 16 to 18 carbon fatty acids are the most common. Kanang fatty acids are amphipathic, having both polar and nonpolar ends. The alkyl chains present in their structure can either be saturated or unsaturated.
Triglycerides are a triesters of fatty acids and glycerols. They are non-polar and hydrophobic in nature. They do not possess any charge and are termed neutral lipids. So the triglycerols nag-contain siya og lahi-lahi nga sukod sa fatty acid nga pwede siya mahimong saturated and unsaturated. Naay two types ang triglycerols, ang simple ug ang mixed type. Sa simple is ga-contain lang siya og single type sa fatty acid, but kung two or more different type na siya sa fatty acid is gitawag na siya og mixed triglycerides. So, kani ang inyong nakita nga structure dira sa ubos is kani ang naay glycerols og naapoy 3 ka fatty acids. And sa pikas is mo na siya ang result sa combine nga glycerols og ang kaniang tulo ka fatty acids and gitawag siya og Mo na lang siya gitawag og kaniyang triglycerides. Waxes. So wax is ester siya og long chain sa fatty acid and long chain sa alcohol. So ang wax is solid siya at room temperature and completely water insoluble, and it's because the wax formed by combining the long chain of fatty acids and monolydroxy alcohol and of higher molecular weight. So, ang one sa popular known of wax is ang biwax, nga ga-contain og tricony palmitate as a major molecule. So, ang triaconic palmitate is compound siya nga ga-consist og long chain of 30 carbon atoms or gitawag nga triaconinyl na na-attach sa palmitate group nga saturated fatty acid nga naay 16 ka carbon atoms. So inyong makita dira sa ubos nga structure nga na ang palmitic acid is taman lang siya sa oxygen, and from oxygen onwards is mauna na siya ang triancantanol. Compound lipids is a complex or compound lipids nga ga-contain og some other organic molecules in addition to fatty acids and glycerols. Ga-include siya og phospholipids, glycolipids, and lipoproteins. Under sa compound lipids is ang phospholipids. Ang phospholipids is ga-consist siya of fatty acids, glycerols or the sphingosine, phosphate, and alcohol nga na-attach sa phosphate. Ga-include dayon siya og phosphoglycerides, etherglycerophospholipids, og ang sphingospholipids. Tas kanan na molecule is kani amphipathic siya in nature. So ang unsa ba ang amphipathic? Ang amphipathic is ga-refer siya sa molecule nga naa both ang hydrophilic kani ang water attracting og ang hydrophobic ang water repelling regions. So under dayon sa phospholipids ang phosphoglyceride. Ang phosphoglyceride is ga-consist siya og glycerol, 2 ka fatty acid molecules, and a phosphate dayon ang alcohol. Siya ang pinaka-abundant nga phospholipids nga makita nimo sa cell membrane. Tas ang iyang pinaka-simple or the simplest form is ang phosphatic acid. Then sa iyang structure is ang hydroxyl group is naa sa number 1 na carbon o sa ikaduha nga carbon of glycerol nga esterified or gi-combine siya sa carboxyl group of 2 fatty acid chains, and ang hydroxyl group sa ikatulo na carbon is gi-combine siya sa phosphoric acid. So, ang common alcohol moieties of phosphoglycerides is ga-include siya og serine, ethanolamine, choline, glycerol, og inositol.
Glycophospholipids. Glycerol ang silbi nga backbone og kini kay naay interlinkage og phosphate group na nabuo ni sila pamaagi sa pagtanggal sa tulo ka H2O ug ang naay unsaturated between sa C1 ug C2 sa ether linkage. Ang compound na naay cis alpha beta unsaturated alkyl moiety kay gitawag nga phosphologen. Sphingospholipids. Ang pagbuo ani kay nakakunik ang glycerol ug sphingosine, which is naay 18 carbon nga pail shape ang forma. Naa ni siya parent structure sa ceramide nga nibuo pamaagi sa pagkunik sa amide sa fatty acid glycolipid pod kay nagkontain og carbohydrate group nga nakakonek sa glycosidic bond pamaagi sa pagsagol sa glycerol ug fatty acid. Ang heat group ani naay isa or daghan nga sugar nga nakakonek sa hydroxyl group sa C1 ceramide meeting. Lipopropane ang gatabang sa lipids nga gikan sa pagkaon para matransport sa tibok lawas ug matunaw ni siya sa dugo nga naay upat ka klase based on sa density, which are the kilomicrons, very low density lipopropane, higher low density. Ang kilomicrons mo ni ang pagtransport sa dietary triglycerides o cholesterol padulong sa peripheral tissue ug liver. Ang very low density lipopropane ang liver maghimo og very low density propane og buhian niya padulong sa atong bloodstream. Low density lipopropane ang iyang role ani kay mag-deliver padulong sa peripheral and liver cells. Ang pangkaupat, higher low density lipopropane magbuild ni siya sulod sa atong wall sa blood vessels.
Drive lipids. Drive lipids are released from hydrolysis of simple and compound lipids. They include steroids and some fatty acids. Steroids. Steroids consist of four fused rings called steroid nucleus. They are complex derivatives of triterpenes. One example is cholesterol, which is an essential component in animal cells membrane. It is stored in the cells as a fatty acid, stored as an act of precursor for the biosynthesis and steroid hormones and bile salt. Cholesterol is absent in fungi and plants. Some other steroids that are common in plants include sigmaterol, citosterol, and composterol. In fungi, glicerol is present in their cell's membrane. Ang steroids kay gikan siya sa laylay na triterpenes na composed sa 6 isopanes. Eicosanoids. They are the family of biological signaling molecules that act as short-range messengers. They originated from 20-carbon alcoholic acid and include prostanoids and leucotrienes. These molecules are formed from two molecules pathway which include cyclogenous or cycling pathway and lipogenous or linear pathways. The cyclogenous pathway is followed by prostanoids, which include prostaglandins, prostacylines, and thromboxgenes. This lipogenous pathway produces leucotrienes based on fatty acid. Lipids are divided into two categories based on the type of fatty acids present in them: saturated and unsaturated fatty acid.
Saturated fatty acid. Simple ra ni siya, meaning walay siya double bond sa carbon single bond ra siya og naay siya carboxylic functional group. Ang example ani kay meseric, meristic, palmitic, and so on. And unsaturated fatty acid food kay naay gihapon siya ni siya carboxylic functional group pero kanilang siya kay naa double bond sa carbon chain. Kung isa ra ang double bond monounsaturated ang tawag, pero kung more than one kay polyunsaturated ang tawag. Ang example ani kay ang sterolic acid. Based on requirements by the human body, lipids on the basis of requirements are divided into two groups: essential and non-essential fatty acids. Essential fatty acids Fatty acids that cannot be produced or synthesized in our bodies are called essential fatty acids. These fatty acids need to be taken through a diet to fulfill the body's requirements for different metabolic functions, includes linoleic acid, linolenic acid, and arachidonic acid. Non-essential fatty acids. Non-essential fatty acids include those lipids that are synthesized by our body. They are not needed to be taken through an outside food source. It includes palmitic acid, folic acid, and butyric acid.